Welcome to Hustle with Hennessy, the segment where I take a deep dive into the world of ambition, success, and the relentless chase of greatness. Now, in this segment, I'm only going to be talking about things I know, things I've experienced, things that I've overcome. We're going to cover two things. We're going to cover hustling. We're going to cover what Hennessy means, who that is. So I thought the best thing we could do today was actually bring out the original Hennessy himself to kind of give a little bit of insight on who Hennessy is and where the name comes from. Why don't you come over here?
What's up, man?
What's happening, bro?
All right.
Take a seat, take a seat.
All right, man. Thanks for having me here.
No doubt. So as mentioned, Hustle with Hennessy. Got the OG Hennessy Senior, Hennessy the second here. And I just want to really ask you a couple questions about who you are, where the name came from, and kind of talk about, your upbringing. And we maybe could talk about some similarities that both of us have, right?
Okay.
So to get started, obviously, your name is Hennessy. Now, tell me a little bit more about where that name comes from and your experience having that name.
Wait, that name from my dad,
Okay.
Hennessy. So, when I was a kid, I never think about Hennessy. Hennessy was just a name. But all of a sudden, boom, my name is Hennessy. But I got it from my dad.
So no connotation, no similarities to the drink. It's just the name that you're given in Haiti. What year? What year exactly?
63.
1963.
Well, I was in Haiti. I was born in 63.
Yeah. So born in 1963, the name is Hennessy, but I don't think there's any correlation to the drink itself.
No. And
Okay.
my dad wasn't drinking either.
Okay. Oh, your dad wasn't a drinker?
No.
Got you. Okay, so we got that part checked out. So for everyone who asks me all the time, no, my name has nothing to do with the drink. You hear it here from the source. He just named me that because he got named that. So now let's go into hustling, right? Something that I know a lot about that you've done in your career and I've done throughout my entire career. But before we get into that, let's explain what hustle actually means, right? The definition of hustle is to obtain something by action or persuasion. And I think the key word with that is action. You're not gonna be able to do anything in life without taking massive action. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen plenty of times that you've taken massive action and make things happen for yourself. So tell me a little bit about, some times where you had to hustle. I'm sure when you just came to the US, barely knew any English. How old were you when you came here?
I was 20.
20 years old, you didn't really know English, right?
No.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like you first come here, you come from Haiti, tell me.
Well, when I just come to America, that wasn't my goal to come here.
Okay.
Because I was surprised to come here because I was lucky when my mom come in. I wasn't 21.
Gotcha.
And then I just lucky. I'm not 21 yet. And
What would have happened if you were 20?
I can't. That one I'll be able to make it.
Oh, so you had to be of age to come to the US?
But yeah, because to make it with my mom at the same time.
Understood.
Because if you're
Okay.
21, they have to file for me to become to the United States.
Okay.
So that was August. That was 2 months before my birthday, and my mom get the visa, and she asked for me, and then I get approved because I'm not 21 yet.
Gotcha.
And I become to the United States in September 1st, 1984. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when I come to this country, I love it. Well, that was my dream then. I want to be all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All that.
All that, yes. I want to be all that.
Okay.
But my dream is to be a truck driver.
Oh.
But a truck driver meaning I call myself a super trucker.
Oh,
You know
super trucker, not a regular
So-
truck driver, y'all. A super trucker.
Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
And so what happened here, I come here on a Saturday, September 1st, 84. On Monday, dude, hey, my uncle come pick me up, go to work. 2 days later, I go to work. You know my first job was?
What?
My first job was cutting grass.
Cutting grass.
Yes,
I know
sir.
a lot about that. Landscaping.
Cutting grass and clean the windows. Hey, listen, man, just coming to Haiti, from Haiti.
Yeah.
And then I'm making money, which is dollar. But Haiti, we count good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm making dollar. And then good thing about it, my uncle give me cash.
Okay.
Because I have to wait for a couple of weeks to get
get
my
paid.
social.
Yeah.
To get my
Oh,
social.
Social Security
Because
and all that.
I cannot work with a social. So they pay my uncle for me.
Yeah.
All right, so every day I wake up, clean them thing. But listen though, what's going on here? 2 weeks later, I get a new job. Mm-hmm. Now I was working a small job, do a spot welding from spot welding there, I was like making $3.25 an hour.
Let's make that clear. $3.25.
25 cents an hour. And then back days, like, Coca-Cola can was 25 cents.
Oh, so you're talking way back.
Oh, yeah, man. What I was doing, awesome. And then I'm getting so greedy now because I see I'm making money.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what, Hennessy? You need to find you a second job. So I get my second job now working 4 to 12.
All right.
That's hustling part now.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah. That's
Keep
been
talking that
hustling because I'm seeing big, I'm seeing money.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? Like, say, well, Hennessy, why don't you work in 2 jobs now? You know what I'm saying? So I'm working 7 to 3:30 and start working another job in R.R. Donnelly's 4 to 12. That's 2 jobs. So now I'm start making real money now. So for a young kid, 20 years old, so I'll probably taking home like $600 a week.
Okay. At the time.
That's big money.
That's some money.
So making story short, my first car was a Ford Pinto.
Ford Pinto. Okay.
Yes, a Ford Pinto. My uncle bring me here, buy me a Ford Pinto. And a Ford Pinto, but keep broke down all the time. I paid $900 for that Ford Pinto. Mm-hmm. But now I'm working 2 jobs, and I'm looking myself. Man, young guy like that, man, driving Ford Pinto, Ford stands for fix or repair daily, you know what I'm saying?
Ford stands for fix or repair daily.
You know what I'm saying?
Never heard that one, but all right.
Yes, so by doing that, so I said 3 months later, by hustling, I get me a Nissan Pulsar.
Okay.
With a T-top.
Yeah.
With a T-top, but that's cheap, man. My payment was $164 a month.
So let me stop you right there. So you keep using the word hustle. Like, what pushed you to want to keep hustling? What made you want to keep getting more and more?
Because I want to get money.
But for what? What did you want to do with just to have
to buy a house?
Okay.
Nice thing, buy a house. I tell you, my dream was to be a truck driver.
Okay.
And then try to get into my trucking business to get my own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So all these things, dream come true, I end up having a house, all this
you ended up doing all that. You got the house. You had the truck.
Yes, I got all that.
The trucks.
But and then when I get the new car, so now, I feel good now. You work for it, you work hard for it, you get what you want. Now you feel good about it.
Absolutely, I definitely know that.
But now,
continue. My bad.
I want to do one more thing. I want to go back the tape now. When you said where you get that name from, the name of Hennessy is for you, because I always love to have a boy. He born the 28th. Now I call my boy Hennessy. Hennessy the second. And he's right here. Hennessy the second, my boy.
Sir. Yes, sir.
All right?
Yeah. And I know you've told me this story before, but it's nice for obviously the public to hear the story.
Yes, sir.
But just the whole time you were talking, I just kept thinking about moments in my life where I've had to hustle. And one of them, obviously, you've been part of my entire life, but I think one of the biggest times I've had to hustle my entire life was making the transition of leaving Connecticut right after college and moving to Tampa. For me, that's up there for one of my biggest hustle moments of my life. I was dedicated to actually making it happen. I was saving money every single week to the point where I finally had enough to leave my job, move to Tampa, and do what I had to do. So that's one of my main hustle moments. But what I've noticed about with life is that you can't really ever stop hustling, because once you start hustling, you achieve that goal, then what's the next thing that happens? You have to hustle to get the next
keep
goal.
going.
Kind of like when you got the Pinto. Then you're like, you know what? I got it now. Now I'm ready for the next challenge, the next goal. And that's exactly what happened to me, right? I had a really good 5 years in Tampa, and I made the decision to get uncomfortable again. I said, you know what? Let me take on a new challenge. And I made the leap to New York City. I'm here now. And I'm 2.5 years in, but this is just a whole new hustle for me. I'm doing it all over again. So it's a really familiar space for me to be in when I have to, be in those modes where I have to hustle, attain the goal, hustle again, attain the goal, hustle again, attain the goal. So it's really a never-ending cycle. Now, when it comes to your life, you've lived a long life. Obviously, we're not gonna call you old, but you've been on the earth for some time now. Older.
No, never old, man, please.
Older.
You can say whatever you want, but not too old, man. Old.
What is one of the most proud things that you have that you've done in your life?
Trucking.
What about trucking, though?
Because I love trucks. When I get my first truck for car trucking, I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, back in the 1990. So the same thing, exactly what you're saying. So I got a truck from them, And after I paid that chalk off, I said, well, you know what? I need to get me new chalk. Exactly. So I have to hustle to get that new chalk. 3 years later, my head get bigger. And then I end up to 5 chalk. I get 5 chalk for my own. You know what I'm saying? So keep hustling every day, hustling booze. Not just that, dog. I love money. No money, no honey.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, explain what that means to the people.
No money, no honey
no
mean.
honey. Yeah.
No money, no honey mean. If you have a girlfriend or if you have a wife, dude, if you got the money to taking care of her, that means you don't have no wife, you don't have no woman. You know what I'm saying? So no money, no honey. To be in the good words, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. We call it happy wife, happy life. You understand?
I got you. Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, man. But like, you know, and I'm still doing it. I mean, I will keep trucking until, like, you know, I can walk no more.
Yeah. No, and I think what you're saying, what the audience should take from this, I think when you tie passion into a hustle, there's no end date. There's no expiration date. You've been truck driving for 34 years.
34
Still love
years.
it every single day.
Let's truck it up.
And I think that makes your job somewhat easy. I know your job, the day-to-day is not easy, but the fact that you have the passion tied to it, it low-key doesn't really feel like work, I'd imagine.
But that's part of it, though. I mean, I love myself. I love the job.
Yeah.
I end up calling myself a super trucker. You know what I mean? By super trucker, I mean super trucker, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you on that. So let's just talk about a little bit about our hometown, right? I want to go back a little bit because you came here in 1984. 1984, you come here.
Yes, sir.
People always ask me this and I don't know the answer, so I got to ask you right now. Why Connecticut? Why not Miami? Why not the South? Like, why Connecticut? I need to know.
Okay, so my uncle was living in Deep River, Connecticut.
Okay.
So when he bring us over to this country, that's the only place we got to go. That's the only place I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I have my job, I have everything. So I stayed there. And till now, I've been in Connecticut for it's going to be 40 years, September 1st, 1984.
Man, I had to get out. I had to get out of Connecticut. That place, great, you know, upbringing, great education, all that stuff is great. But when I look back at my life, I've had to hustle probably since I was, I'm gonna say 10. And you know why? Because no one else around me looked like me. And I felt like for me
No, I look like you. You look like me. But you say no one else.
True.
No. Easy there, Turbo.
How can I forget?
You said no one looked like you. You said you only look like me, like your dad. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. How can I forget? So no one in Deep River, Connecticut looked like me but my dad. And for me, you know, it really made me have to have a different type of grit and hustle within me, because when you're surrounded by peers and individuals who don't look like you, you have to do things to stand out. And a lot of times I had to do 2 times more than others just to get a fraction of the shine they got. And that kind of followed me throughout my entire life. I think that's why I have that hustle mentality that I've never lost. And it's something I'm gonna continue to have, just because unfortunately, when you look at corporate America, you look at some of the rooms and the business that I'm conducting, there's not really anyone who looks like me. So that's just something I've had in my life since I was a kid. Sports, being an athlete, you know, I was an athlete my entire life.
That's my liquors, man.
We could talk about from a sports perspective, always had to hustle. We could talk about a business perspective, always had to hustle. We could talk about building relationships and friendships, always have had to hustle in those moments, just to show that, you know, I do belong at this table, or I do belong in this conversation. So for you, because I'm sure for you, it was unreal coming here, barely knowing English, not really having money, and then you're surrounded by every single person in the town who doesn't look like you, and you have a thick accent. Talk to me about like what it was like when you came here. Like, were you making friends? Were you like, talk to me. What was it like coming here originally?
Do you really want to know?
We want to know.
Okay, well, listen.
Don't hold anything back.
No. When I just come here with no English, I talk so fast. I have to talk fast so nobody can understand what I'm saying.
Why didn't you want them to understand?
Because I'm not sure what I'm saying is right.
So you'd rather them?
I eat the words.
You ate the words.
Yeah, so that way, like, you know, they can exactly know what I'm saying. Most all the time, that's all I learn English too.
Okay.
So they say, what you said? And then they said, do you try to say you need water or something? I said, yeah, please.
Oh, you played dumb so they could like help you.
Me.
Like...
Yes, so that's all I learned. You know what I'm saying? So
that's actually really
you want to know something? So good history. You don't know, I'm going to tell you something though. No. I'm going to tell you to give you the best history of this.
Let me hear it.
So I was out in a nightclub in the weekend. Okay, so on my way home, a cop pulled me over. The cop said, like, sir, you hit the curb. I said, officer, really? He said, okay, sir, can you say A to Z in English? I said, officer, I don't speak English. And my friend stayed there and said, come on, Hennessy, man. You can say A to Z in English? I said, man, I don't speak English. The officer said, you don't say A to Z in English. I get your license. I get the test, I pass. And then when he's done, he give me a break, give me no ticket. And I say, officer, in English now, real English, can you show me how to get home?
What's something you've always wanted to ask me? About like, yeah, just everything that's going on, about like my life, shit. There's a lot you probably are like,
No,
I wonder what he's doing.
You never do nothing to me, so.
Wait for it.
He was a good boy when he was a kid. The only thing it cost me money. The problem I have with him, this Hennessy never sit down, not a period, he's always up in the air, in the couch. He never sit down, he just jump, like a flip all the time.
Hey, I guess the hustle started early. I had it in me, had that dog in me at a young age, I guess. So today we've actually covered some really dope content just with me and you. I wanted to do this with you for a really long time. You finally made it out to New York City. Thank you. Thank you for pulling up.
No charge, no charge.
No charge.
No, hey.
Yep, appreciate that. But yeah, I just want to really wrap it up with just finishing on this end note about hustling. We hear the word hustle, we hear people are hustlers all the time. I mean, you hear it in music, you see movie titles that have that, you see book titles that have that. But I think that when you really look at what hustling is, the proof has to show. And I think that in your life, I've been grateful enough to watch you have times where you've hustled, made a great childhood for myself just from some of the things that you were able to accomplish in your life. And I'm just watching the life that I'm currently building for myself, my future family, just by what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. I feel like there's people get in front of a camera, they get behind a mic, and then they just start saying whatever. I want to make something very clear. I am not perfect by any means. I'm just like every single person watching this video. I'm going through things every day. I'm overcoming trials and tribulations. I'm learning things along the way, just like you guys are. But there is one trait that I've noticed about myself, I guess over the past 7 or 8 years, where I've actually had to hustle for real. And that is not focusing on perfection, but staying present. And it's really hard to do that in times, especially times when you're so ready for the next step in your life, but you can't fully see it, but you're ready for it. You gotta stay present. And I'm telling this to y'all, but I'm also reminding myself that, because there's times all the time where, life is so good in the present that you can let it go by because you're so worried about what's in the future. And that's really the main takeaway that I would say from that. Perfection is one thing, and you should strive for it, but none of us are ever gonna be perfect, right? You just gotta stay present. You have to be present and let the presence come in from your presence. That's a lot of peace. You like that?
I like that.
It's kind of hard. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in to Hustle with Hennessy. I'm going to be dropping these every single week. Oh, and this is actually a major shout out. He cut alcohol out. Dad is fully sober. How many months now?
Yeah, we're up to 14 months.
14 months, fully sober. So there will not be any Hennessy drank.
No Hennessy drink.
I'm currently not drinking myself either, but we'll air virtual Hennessy shot. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.